Hello and welcome to Europa Universalis IV, a brilliant grand strategy game from Paradox Interactive, set between the years 1444 to 1821, so covering the Renaissance, the discovery of the New World, the Enlightenment era, and the early industrial period. Just a fantastic game all around. I've sunk thousands of hours into it. Of course, the sequel EU5 has already been released some time ago, I think almost a year or more now. But I don't know, that game just didn't quite hook me in quite the same way as EU4. I've put maybe 100 or 200 hours into it, and it's certainly got potential. The bones are there, a really solid foundation, and you can certainly see what they're trying to accomplish with it and where they want to head with that game. But I don't know, it's just not quite there yet. The systems just don't quite gel in the same way that EU4 does. I don't know if it's partly a UI thing or what, but for me it just, I don't know, didn't hook me in quite the same way as EU4 has. But maybe, you know, after another few years of development, DLCs, patches, and bug fixes, maybe EU5 will come together and really, you know, become the game that I think it's intended and perhaps destined to be. But time will tell. Of course, EU4 has had a long, storied development over a decade or so of polishing and patching and bug fixing, so it's a much more complete and finished product, I guess you could say, compared to EU5, which is still, I think, I wouldn't say open beta, but it's, yeah, it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. But anyway, we're here to play EU4. We're going to kick it off with a new campaign. As I said, I've played lots and lots of EU4. I've done campaigns as, you know, the Netherlands, Japan, France, Spain, the Ottomans, Austria. And I've even done a few campaigns in the New World, playing as the Iroquois and the Aztec, etc., etc. But I was recently listening to a series in a podcast called The Rest is History podcast, which I highly recommend if you're interested in history, which if you're watching this video, I'm sure you are. Dominic Sandbrook and Tom Holland are great presenters, and they do a really excellent job with presenting those episodes about history in a compelling narrative way. And I recently finished watching their series on the fall of the Incan Empire. And I realized I'd never actually played a campaign as the Incas in EU4. In fact, I'd never played as any nation in South America. I'd only ever done the Iroquois and the Aztecs. I'd never actually gone below Panama. So I figured, hey, what the heck? Let's kick up a new campaign here in EU4 and finally play as the Incas, having been inspired by that series, which again, I highly recommend. I didn't know much of anything about Francisco Pizarro's conquest of the Incan Empire. Of course, the great Spanish conquistador. Well, great is subjective, but a Spanish conquistador. I didn't really know much of anything about him. Of course, I knew the Spanish did conquer the Incas, but I didn't know much of the details. So, highly recommend that podcast, and hope you'll join me for a new campaign. So, let's jump into it. I'll show you some of my save games too, just because I haven't recorded these, but I have played them. I think I played them on the latest patch, which, funnily enough, the latest patch is also the Inca patch. So the Incas were, I think, the last nation to get a full-on rework and rebalance by the developers before they pivoted to EU5 development full-time. So they're probably pretty overpowered, the Incas. Typically, you know, whatever nation the developers touch last tends to be very powerful. Just the nature of how the reworks tend to operate. You get some nice buffs, you get some cool new mechanics, and they're not always fully road tested before they're rolled out. But let me show you some other campaigns that I've played. I did a campaign recently, probably in the last year or so, where I started off as Ardabil and then formed Persia and then ultimately formed the Zoroastrian Eren Shah, conquering all of India, Arabia, Iran, bit of Kazakhstan and Ukraine, all of Anatolia and the Balkans, and then parts of Africa as well. So that was a really fun campaign. I did an Austrian into Holy Roman Empire world conquest because I'd never actually done that, and everyone has to do it at some point, but geez, I do not recommend it. It is so tedious, and that's with the HRE vassal swarm helping you out. But You know, just again, EU4 is a great game, but when you get to the 1600s onwards, it's just awfully tedious if you're good at the game and you're trying to conquer large swathes of territory all at once, because you're just operating in multiple theaters, micromanaging troops to fight rebels, and you know you're at 300% overextension and fighting rebels everywhere, and it's just a nightmare. It's the worst. Look, everyone who calls themselves, you know, an EU4 player worth their salt has to do a world conquest at one point or another, but oh god, I don't recommend it. And again, I did this with the HRE, so I had the vassal swarm. I can't imagine doing it without the vassal swarm. So tedious. And then I did a small short campaign as Poland into the Commonwealth, and then I stopped this campaign in the 1600s because I was getting to that point of tedium. Clearly powerful enough to dominate the world and probably launch into a world conquest from here if I wanted to. But yeah, I did not want to do that again. So I was satisfied that I'd conquered most of Russia and, you know, neutered the Ottomans and Austria as well. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm done with that campaign. But anyway, we are here to start a new campaign as the Incas. Oh, I guess I should talk a few other campaigns I did. So I mentioned those are the 3 most recent campaigns. I've also done a campaign as France, getting the big blue blob. I've done one as England into Great Britain and, you know, conquering India and the New World. I've done the same as the Netherlands, where I conquered all of the Low Countries and all of Great Britain, and then all of the Americas, all of Africa, all of India, all of Japan, all of Australia and the East Indies here, and then I think I conquered all of this part as well, and then parts of China. I didn't conquer everything. I just took a few trade nodes. What else have I done? I've done Portugal. I've done Castile to Spain. As I mentioned, I've done the Iroquois and conquered all of North America and all of Great Britain. I've done the Aztecs. I think I stopped that campaign after beating the Spaniards, though. I got bored of that one. And I've done the Ottomans. And that's pretty much most of the memorable campaigns I've done. Oh, I've done a Muscovy into Russia campaign and a Sweden campaign. These are a long time ago, across multiple different patches. But anyway, we are here to play as the Incas in South America. And we are going to play, of course, as Cuzco. Cusco's gold, the Kingdom of Cuzco. Cusco's poison, the poison for Cusco, that poison. Yes, we're going to play as the Kingdom of Cuzco, which historically was the kingdom that formed the Incan Empire. So we are playing as Apa Pachacuti Hanan. He's a pretty good leader, a 435, not too bad. We start off with the lowest level of technology you can have. We're an Andean tech group kingdom. We worship the Inti gods, the Incan gods. And we have the Incan ideas. So what is this? Starting idea, land force limit modifier plus 20, idea cost minus 10%. And the bonus idea for having all Incan ideas is max hostile attrition plus 1. And then we get a few cool little bonuses here. Machu Picchu, yearly prestige and great project upgrade cost, development cost reduction, tax modifier and admin cost reduction, discipline, construction cost, production efficiency, and land attrition. Not great, but not terrible. Sort of middling. Can't complain. And then we are surrounded by the Huanca over here. Everyone loves the Huanca. Tom Holland got a great deal of joy out of the Huanca in their podcast series about the Incans. We've got the Cola over here as well. They've got a Maran ideas, and then the Charca, the Pacajais, the Pacajais? I don't know how that's pronounced. And the Calchiqui. And then a few more nations up north. But we'll play as Cuzco over here. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. I actually restarted my game just because I didn't want any funniness to be incorporated in the campaign from having loaded a bunch of save games and then going back to the historical starts. I know that in previous versions of the game there are a bunch of exploits you could do by picking different start dates and using custom nations, etc. I just wanted to make sure that there's no possibility of my game getting corrupted or having weird things happen as a result of me having loaded the save games before I went back to the historical start dates. So to err on the side of caution, I thought I'll just restart the game and and just make sure there's nothing untoward that's going to happen. So I've done that, and then pick the First Nations start date here, which points out all the interesting nations to play as in the Americas. 50 years prior to its encounter with Columbus, the Americas are a huge and diverse region. In the south, Cuzco has just begun its rise from a minor kingdom to the great Inca Empire. In Central America, the newly formed Aztec Triple Alliance is but one of many strong regional powers, and in North America, perhaps the most divided region of all, the Iroquois and Huron federations have just begun to form. But we're going to play as Cuzco over here, so let's go ahead and start her up. We'll play in Iron Man mode, and we'll just call the campaign Inca. Keep it short and sweet. So, the Kingdom of Cuzco, 1444, the Hanan dynasty of Cuzco. In 1444, the Quechua of Cuzco are on the verge of a monumental rise. Recently embroiled in the Chanca Wars, one of the princes, Inca Yupanqui, has chosen to remain in the capital city, while most of the aristocracy and the government fled from the impending Chanca forces. The prince was victorious, and he took on the name Pachacuti, meaning ground shaker, and after renovating the city of Cuzco, he would soon begin an imperial expansion, laying the groundwork for the Tawantinsuyu. The Inca would not be the first to mold an empire out of the Andean patchwork, as those heights used to be ruled by the powerful Wari and the Tiwanaku realms. The main point of interest for the Incan early expansion would be the Titicaca Basin, where their Kola foes are based, and whose conquest would eliminate a powerful rival from the area, which would enable further conquests to be unimpeded. As for our religion, we worship the Inti faith, giving us +2 tolerance of the true faith and a small monthly autonomy reduction. Inti countries have a religious authority value. This goes up from choices in events, reducing local autonomy, and from expanding your empire. Inti authority is reduced as your provinces gain more autonomy. You will gain bonuses based on your level of authority, and you can also use it to enact religious reforms. Every reform will give a new permanent bonus and result in a large-scale revolt against your rule. Once all reforms are undertaken and you border a country with the feudalism institution, you can reform the religion and gain technology and institutions from your neighbor while retaining all the bonuses from reforms undertaken. Inti provinces can be found primarily in the Andes, and the Inti faith shares the religion group with the nearby animist faith. Our government, pretty standard, we're a monarchy, so if our monarch dies before our heir is of age, we get a regency council. We can have consorts through royal marriages. We have estates that can be loyal and influential, or, disloyal. We have crown land and various government reforms, which I don't think we can... Yeah, we can't do any government reforms until we reform our religion, so that's not relevant for us. And as for our environment, of course, we're playing in South America, which starts out relatively isolated from the rest of the world, but that's not going to last forever. The European colonists are coming, and we may find ourselves overwhelmed by their superior technology, unless we've sufficiently prepared for it. And superior technology here means two things: horses and guns. Mainly horses, but also guns to a lesser extent, but mainly horses, which surprised me, but there you go. Alright, so let's take stock. We've got 8,000 troops here, South American spearmen, and if we have a look at our army force limit, it's actually 11, so we can build a few more units of spearmen to get up to our maximum force limit. We can pick some rivals. We're currently rivaled with both, or we've got enemies of both the Kola and the Huanca, which is fine because we want to go to war with both of them, so we'll rival both of those guys. And then we should choose some alliances, and basically we want to make allies that will make things difficult for the Huanca and the Kola. So let's go ahead and ally with the Huila, and then we'll ally with the Charca tomorrow. We can't do that right now. So that's that. If we have a look at our government here, we've got Pachacuti, we've got a pretty good heir, who's not yet of age though. Any good advisors? Morale of armies, not terrible, nothing too amazing. We've got the Quechua culture and a non-accepted minority culture in the Andean group. Economy-wise, we're doing fine. trade, we do have an extra merchant, but we can't really do anything with him. We're in this Lima trade node, where we've already got a merchant assigned to increase profit. And this other node, the Cueba node, we can't actually send anyone to because it's out of our range. So once we expand our empire a bit, maybe we'll be able to get there. Technology, we're, you know, just starting out. It's going to take a while for us to catch up to the rest of the world in tech. We've got a bunch of ideas which we'll look at in more detail as and when they become relevant. We'll circle back to the missions, but we've got some unique Cuzcoan missions. We have a few decisions we can make, including introducing the Vision Quest, which will give us yearly prestige at the cost of increased stability. An increased stab cost modifier. I don't think we'll take that right now, because when we reform our religion, our stability is going to drop, I believe, so we'll need to increase it by spending admin points, and it's going to cost more if we start stacking up these stab cost modifiers. So that's that. We can also, of course, ultimately form the Incan Empire once we own a bunch more provinces, so that's our sort of long-term goal here. Beyond that, we've got our religion. And actually, the religion map mode, pretty much everyone that we want to conquer is in the Inti faith already, so that's good. No complaints there. No subjects, and then we come to our estates. So we've got the Panakas, which are our clergy. We've got the Pacoyoc, our nobles or aristocrats. Then we've got the merchant guilds, which do not have a unique name, but that's totally fine. So for the Panakas, let's have a look at what we want to give them. I think we do give away some crown land to get these monarch point bonuses right off the bat. So we'll grab religious estate from the clergy here. We'll skip clerical advisory council because again, we don't have enough money really to afford getting some advisors, but also I don't want to increase our stab cost, so we'll skip over that one. Clerical ministers we don't need. We'll give oversight by the Panakas just to increase the loyalty equilibrium, just to get it up nice and high. Clerical inwards focus we don't need. Monopoly on wool is no, we don't really need that. Religious culture could be good. Every owned province of the Inti faith, which is either in the Andean culture group or has an accepted culture, will gain religious society, giving a bunch of nice effects: tax income, production, manpower, and reduced unrest. And that's pretty much everything we're going to be conquering is either of the Inti faith, is of the Inti faith, and either in the Andean culture group or will have an accepted culture. So ultimately, I think we should get that. Religious diplomats we don't need. Development of the temples, I think we will grab that. It'll just be a nice little dev cost reduction when we have temples. And then, of course, they won't lose crown land when we develop, but I think that's okay. And we'll get some loyalty from that too, so they'll be up at 56% equilibrium now. And then funding theological studies, clerical education, we can't use reforms yet. And the rest of these I just don't think we need. So I think that sorts our clergy. As for our nobles, we'll get the extra monthly military power. And then that's pretty much all I can want from them, really. We won't grant aristocratic councillors just yet. I'll take right of council just for the loyalty equilibrium. But beyond that, I don't actually think I need anything from the nobles. Nothing else really grants loyalty equilibrium, right? Yeah, so I think I will leave the nobles then. For the merchants, we'll grant land of commerce for the diplo power. Patronage of the arts, we will grant that eventually, but not right now. Commercial advisory board will skip. Free enterprise will grant that for the loyalty equilibrium. Control over the monetary policy can be useful later down the track, but I don't want to increase our power costs at the moment. It's a little too early for that. What else do I need from here? Every province with an estuary center of trade. No, I don't need that. Economic freedom. Don't need that either. Merchant Guild's financial demand. I'll take that for the tax modifier and the possibility of getting a construction cost reduction. It does make them more influential, but that's okay. And then the last two here are both quite good. I don't think we need promoting the Merchant Guild's bookkeeping just yet. But the high altitude adaptation is a unique one for the Incas. basically, we are a people inherently bound to the Andes, born and cradled in those beautiful mountains. It's only natural that we focus on adapting national policies towards it. So every owned province that does not have the hills, mountains, or highlands terrain will get an unaccustomed penalty, increasing development costs by 15%. But every province with the mountains, highlands, and hills terrain will have their development cost penalty halved. So that's very good, because we are in the hills, highlands, and mountains here in the Andes. So we'll go ahead and take that. It'll also increase the loyalty equilibrium of the merchants a bit. And as we can see, most of our territory here is mountains, highlands, etc. And we've got some coastal desert, we've got some jungle, but the core of it is all mountains and highlands, etc. So that should serve us quite well. So that's that. Now let's call I guess we'll call a Diet. Give them a bit more loyalty and influence. And the Panakas want us to increase the tax base in Quero to 3. We'll get some loyalty and prestige. The nobles want us to have prestige of 30 to get admin power and loyalty. And the merchants want us to have more than 25% trade power. I think we'll go with the proposal of the Pacoyoc. Because we can get 30 prestige, I think, pretty easily, and that's just free admin power. So we'll grab that. And then we will seize land to get some crown land back, because we're at, like, nothing, which isn't good. And then I think we're pretty much ready to unpause once we have a look at our missions here. We'll need to wait 1 day and then ally the Charka. And then let's have a look at our missions. So the first mission we're going to go for is the ground shaker here. We've also got rule of the sun and recruit the chunker. So to recruit the chunker, we need to have Albanque owned by us, which it is, and it needs to have a base manpower of 4, and then we have to either have an army tradition of 30 or at least 4 mercenary companies, I think, available to us. I don't think we have to hire them. So that's one possibility. Then we've got Rule of the Sun. We need an authority of at least 20, an army of 12,000 or more, and legitimacy of at least 90. Then we can lose some war exhaustion, get some nice bonuses for 30 years. But the main one that we're going to go for here is the Ground Shaker. We need an army equal or larger than 10,000, or 90% of our force limit, or we need to be at war. And we'll gain permanent claims on Antisuyu and Huanaco. We get this Fall of the Chunka and the Rise of Cusco event. We get a bunch of gold and a bunch of monarch points as well. And then for as long as Pachacuti lives, he will have his stats upgraded via missions. And if we form the Inca before 1480, and Abanque is owned by Cusco and Machu Picchu isn't at least significant, then it will be immediately upgraded to significant. So that's really good. And it also means you want to keep Pachacuti alive. So if you're really unlucky and he dies early, probably just restart, to be honest, because that's no fun. But anyway, and then yeah, Machu Picchu will be upgraded to level 2. So we do want to form the Incan Empire before 1480 so that happens. This should be eminently achievable, but we'll see how we go. But alright, so let's go ahead and we'll unpause. We'll let a day tick, and then we will ally the Charka. And then that should sort us for alliances for the most part. We'll see who the Huanca and the Kola ally. Obviously, we want to take them out first, so hopefully they get some useless alliances. But now we just need to really wait for our mission to be ready. And we can probably send our diplomats to get royal marriages and also to curry favor. So we'll do that next month on the 12th. But for now, we'll just be waiting, seeing what allies they get. So we'll wait for the 12th. And let's go ahead and I guess we'll royal marriage with the Hula there. And then we'll do the same with the Charka. And yeah, let's see. I need my troops to be built before we can do anything else. So they have allied with the Chimu to those guys. That's okay. That's alright, I don't mind that. And pretty much as soon as my troops are built, and I can do that mission, and I've got them all in the one area. I'm going to declare war. And let's send 14th of January, then I can curry favors. And they've allied with the Chachapoya. These guys haven't allied anyone, so maybe I should take them first. Let's do our mission. We'll gain a permanent claim on Antisuyu and Honako, and we'll get all that other stuff. The story of Kusu Yupanqui, called Pachacuti, meaning ground shaker or reformer, is a famous one. One of the sons of the Incas of Cuzco, his father abandoned the city in anticipation of the Chanca army. Pachacuti remained and valiantly defeated the invader army in the gods' favor. Or so the story goes, as the details of these events evolve to suit the subsequent needs of his heirs. Very good, let's go ahead and complete that. So we get all of that stuff there. The fall of the Chanca and the rise of Cuzco. After years of struggles and having been dangerously close to total defeat by the Chancas in 1438, the Kingdom of Cuzco has now risen to a greater position than it has ever had previously. Having saved the kingdom, the young king Pachacuti went on to conquer the Chanca kingdom itself shortly afterwards, a state that for a long time had exacted tribute not only from Cuzco, but from many of the states in the Andean world since the fall of the old Huari Empire. Apart from marking Pachacuti as the greatest leader of the Cuzco kingdom to date, the fall of the Chancas have given us access to their great treasury, a huge collection of gifts from neighbors and tributaries. This is exactly the kind of capital needed to buy the services necessary to reform and expand our kingdom. At this point, nobody knows Pachacuti's plans, but what is certain is that he has the means to steer Cuzco in whichever direction he could wish. Long live Pachacuti, he who makes the ground shake. Very good. Alright, so now these guys have got a few allies now, which is a bit annoying because that means they've got 16,000 troops. So I might find myself going for these guys first, but I need the month to tick over. And you know what, we can start currying favors with my allies, just in case. And then when the month ticks... Okay, so we've got our CBs now. I could, you know, maybe go after them. Maybe. But it could also be better. Like, let's pick on the weaker guy, you know? And I think, yeah, let's go after... I don't even think we need to call allies in. Let's go after the cola here. And we'll say, yeah, we're going to take... I don't know, Chukaibo, it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll declare war on them. And let's put Pachacuti in our army. He's a great leader, so we should win some victories with him at the helm. And we'll try and take out their army first. Now, I would have liked to have been on the border, but we started it early enough. We'll catch up to them here. The month won't tick. It will tick, so they'll get a bit of morale. But what can you do? We'll get morale too. I didn't want to wait for them to get allies, so I thought it was worth it. We should still win pretty easily. So even though we're crossing a river, we rolled really well on the fire phase, not so well on the shock phase. We did okay on the shock phases, actually. So we'll win that pretty easily there. And what we'll do, I think we will... you know what, let's split our army in half and send my guys there. You know what, I can probably just leave one behind. Where are they going? Oh, they're going off into the mountains, okay. Alright, well that's fine, I can finish that guy off. So we got some infantry combat ability, that's great, because that's all we have, is infantry. So let's go ahead and move you back there. Great, so that's occupied. And I could call these guys to arms by promising them land. I'm not going to give them any land, just to be clear. Let's go ahead and make that all stuff that I want. Okay, and let's move you guys there as well. Manpower's a bit low, so I don't really want to lose troops. So let's go ahead and leave 4,000 behind. And then we'll send everyone else back there, just so they're not getting attrition, right? And then we just need to wait for the siege to end. The Royal Guards. The honor to guard the life of Apu is hereditary and belongs to a number of families in Cuzco. This honor is in itself not a guarantee of martial prowess, however. After a tour in the provinces, it is clear to Pachacuti that the quality of the guard could be dramatically improved if we brought in some new blood from the countryside. This would, however, not be well received by the families currently given the privilege, at least not until the new members have been integrated for a few generations. So we'll get a bit of unrest, but we'll get some morale and discipline. So I think that's totally worth it. Let's bring in the new blood. Make our army a little bit better. And yeah, we'll just keep sieging this down. Abanque, navel of the world. One of the first things on Pachacuti's agenda is the reshaping of Abanque. While our capital has served its purpose over the years, it is in many ways no more than a rural village, often flooded by nearby rivers. Such a city is no longer fitting for a kingdom with ambitions such as ours. By creating a small model version of the city, Pachacuti has drawn up plans for an entire redesign, necessitating the complete evacuation of the city for the duration of the project. While the manpower and material needed for this project are readily available inside our new borders, mobilizing the various chiefs under our control entails a generous use of gifts and feasts. That is, however, a price we will have to pay for our new capital. So I could get some stability, which might be worth it. In fact, we should increase our stability, spend some admin to do that. Or I can create this worthy capital. Reducing our manpower modifier, but we get a bunch of prestige. Hey, let's do it. That's the historical path, I feel. So let's go ahead and do that. So we get some prestige. And you know what? We can finish our mission with the nobles by granting patronage of the arts. So let's go ahead and grant that. That'll get us up to 34. So there you go. We get our 10 loyalty and our 50 admin. So that's fine. Cool. And now we just need to wait for the siege. We should be okay. I mean, we've got the risks of trade. Trade over large distances can be risky if profitable. The weather, brigands, and pirates remain a threat on land as well as on water. Normally, the merchant guilds can cope with a certain amount of mishaps and have their own ways to protect themselves and ensure their cargo. Lately, however, things have been going badly for a large number of merchant families, and some are at risk of bankruptcy. It may be prudent to offer some financial compensation to get them back on their feet. So I can get loyalty and influence. Or I can lose loyalty. I think that's a lot of money to compensate them though, but I think it's better than going disloyal. Because they could revolt. I don't want to deal with a revolt. So let's just keep them happy. We're not losing money too badly. And I don't know where that army's run off to. And of course the Huanca. Those Huancas, they know what they're up to. They want our land. We won't let them have that. That was a good roll on that siege there. So it shouldn't be too much longer until we finish our first war here. And then there's the question of, do we keep going down this way? I think it's better to just pick on the weak ones that have no allies. So we'll probably ignore the Huanca for now, and we'll just keep pushing into the Titicaca Basin. Probably makes the most sense. Estate statutory rights. The estates of Cuzco have come forth offering a compromise to solve the weak control that we have over the land. So we'll get minimum autonomy, but we'll get a bunch of crown land back. I'm not worried about that. I think we'll just solve this ourselves. Sometimes it is worth taking that option. Like, estate statutory rights, it's not the worst. And to grant a bunch of estates off early game and then you take that and you get all the crown land back, sometimes it can be good. But I don't think we're too worried about estates and crown land as the Incas, at least not yet. Come on, let's keep going. Let's get this siege done. Okay. Now we might get lucky. We might get it on a 28%. It's pretty unlikely, but you never know. No, okay, 42% surely. Surely luck is gonna favor us here. What do we want? Trade efficiency, institute. No, we'll get the mercantilism, thanks. So we'll lose a bit of trade power. But that's okay. There we go. Siege of Puno is over. So let's go ahead and let the month tick and get my troops grouped up, because we're gonna straight away launch into the next invasion. Do we need the Charkers' help? I don't think we do. Let's go ahead and just launch that. And yeah, we can go right through actually, because I want to take out their army. So even though we're crossing the river. And now let's sue for peace. Get a bunch of money. Is it worth doing anything else, like humiliating? Does that give us power projection? I don't really need power projection. War reps. Yeah, I don't think it's worth doing anything else, like making them a vassal, pillaging. I don't think it's worth it. I think we just take all their territory. We take all of our gold, and that's our first war done. And we have defied the colons, so Pachacuti will gain 1 diplomacy point, and will gain a permanent claim on the Potosi, Juju, and Upper Peru areas. We'll get secured the North Altiplano until the end of the game, giving us yearly tax income and a land force limit modifier increase. And we'll get the Triumph over Kola event, which will give us 2 options we can choose from. So we'll have a look at that. The Kola are certainly our most powerful rivals and owners of the northern Titicaca Basin. Their defeat would spell a new era for the Andes, an era where the Inca rules them all. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, we've completed that mission, and we have 2 options we can choose from now. So, Triumph over Kola. We've defeated our Kola rivals, opening up the Titicaca Basin to us. The local rulers are at our mercy, and to have them beheaded, flayed, and paraded through the streets of Cuzco could be a great testament to how powerful Pachacuti is, and a warning to all potential foes who dare stand in our way. So, parade in Cuzco, plus 25 authority, minus 33% local autonomy in the Antasuyu area, which is this area, I think, and 5 years of separatism lost in that area. Is that right? Area? Yeah. Antasuyu. Okay, so we don't have this province. Maybe I should have waited until I conquered the Pacayas as well, but that's okay. Or we can focus on integrating local peoples. We'll gain Aymara as an accepted culture. Or if they already are, then we'll get 100 Diplo. No, I think we go with the parade. I will take my separatism and autonomy reduction, because their autonomy is nice and high. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll get that authority as well. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should have done that probably after we cored the provinces. That's a shame, because I don't think it can reduce it below 90%. Because it's the territory. Oh well. You live and learn, it's not a big deal. And we got a bunch of religious authority for that, which is cool. So that's giving us some unrest and stab cost reductions. And when we get to 100, we can start getting some of these nice bonuses here. Like expanding the Mitma policy and reforming the bureaucracy, which I think will be the first one we get for that core creation cost reduction. Alright, let's go ahead and carry on with our next war. We're just leapfrogging through our wars here. We can sell some crown land for some gold, but I don't think we'll do that. But we will... Do we want to grab some more troops? Yeah, what's our combat width? It's really only worth it. Our combat width is 15, so it is kind of worth getting more troops. But our manpower is, not that high. I think let's see how we do in these wars. Okay, we are just destroying them. We gained conquest against the Calchicui and the Chaka. Yep, that's the rest of the area down here. So I'm going to have to betray these Charkers eventually. Let's go ahead and we'll detach some troops just to siege down these provinces, make sure they don't build more military forces. And I might have to send some guys back up, unfortunately. So where are they going? They're going to Puna de Atacama. And I cannot go there. I don't have military access. So I can't stack wipe them, which is a bit annoying. But that's okay. What I will do is just full siege them. And then split my troops up into a few different roaming armies. Can I... No, I still can't send a merchant there. Alarmed nobles. A delegation from some of the finest families in Cuzco has approached Pachacuti demanding that the new members of the Royal Guard be sent back to their homes in the provinces. While they are displeased that the institution as such was not changed... while they are pleased that the institution as such was not changed, they are abhorred by the kind of people that now have the hereditary right to guard the Apu. These men are not fit to be part of the high aristocracy of Cuzco. So I can revert the decision for stability, or I can give it a generation or two. I'll gain authority, stab cost modifier will go up, advisor costs will go up. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and boost our stab up, and we will give it a generation or two, because I want that morale and discipline, and of course the extra religious authority is also pretty nice. Alright, and what we'll do the same thing. We'll consolidate. Pachacuti can stay behind with 4 guys, which I think is all we need. Yep. And my other troops will just sort of stand guard here. And I'm not really worried if they siege back the other territory. You know what? I'm thinking I will expand the army slightly. Just by 2,000 men. Just to, you know, grow our strength a little bit. Because we really do want to be engaging in battles where we're using our full combat width. And, you know, we've only got infantry at the moment. Status quo. You hate to see it. You hate to see it on a siege roll. We can get Rule of the Sun. Lose some war exhaustion. National tax modifier, manpower modifier. I mean, our war exhaustion's not yet over 2, so when it's over 2, we'll use that. Get that bonus rolling in, but until then, it's not really worth it. Okay. And I mean, they're not even going to siege their territory back, so that's fine by me. And then I guess we go after these guys. Now, they're allied with the Charca. So I'd have to take them both out. So maybe we pivot. We pivot up to the Huanca and maybe call in both our allies, because we might have enough favors to call them in without having to promise territory. And then I can potentially take all of the Chimu lands as well. Certainly if I go after Lima, which I might be able to do once I've engaged in a war here and called the Huila in. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just like say, yes, I want all that land. Divide and conquer. Divide et impera. Water shortage, excellent. That's great. And, oh, there was one thing I did want to grant, right? I wanted to grant. And it's going to cost us some crown land, but I think it's worth it. Religious culture. To get that tax production and manpower modifier. Right now we're getting plus 0.44 and 111. If we grant religious culture, that should go up. 113. Might take a month to tick. Let's see what happens. Ah, okay. Well, anyway. I think it was still worth it. I mean, we should be getting that bonus on most of them, right? Religious Society. Yep, we're getting it there, we're getting it there. Are we not getting it here? No, we're getting it there as well. Because they're Inti Faith and in the Andean culture group. So yeah, that was worth it. We are getting bonuses. We've got our core provinces. We can make that a state now, which we will do. And let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll core everything properly. So that's a full core now. Cannot be lower than 50% due to it being a colonial core. That's not right. That should change. Our autonomy did go down. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that mission did work even though we didn't have it as a proper core yet. So it should be, yeah, there we go. It's down now to 7.7%. So we should be getting pretty much full benefit from that area, which is nice. So yeah, we're almost getting a ducat now, getting some more manpower. Cool. And this siege is almost done. The Pacayas have not really put up much of a fight, which is fine by me. Yep, we can call allies now. Not that we need to. And there we go. That war is done. Let's go ahead and sue for peace. We're just going to take everything. And we're going to take all the money. And that's all I want. Money and land. That's all anyone wants. We can encourage divination, which I don't think we need to do, so I'll just disable that. And let's make some cores. We don't have enough to core everything, but that's okay. And let's remove you as a leader there and move our troops up, because it's time to take out the Huanca. Now the Huila will join, the Charca won't, annoyingly. But that's okay, I can come back to them. I've pretty much neutralized this area, so it'll wait for me, basically. Oh, and awesome, we gained strict, gives us plus 5% discipline, so that's fantastic. I'm just going to drop a save here. I mean, it's on Iron Man mode anyway, but just in case. That's why I took Pachacuti off as a leader, because I don't want him to die while we're standing around and not doing anything. Because there is a slight increased death chance. Oh, Separatists. I forgot about the Separatists, bloody hell. Okay. That's alright. Let's go back there. We'll put him as leader, because he'll move the troops faster. Are they going to take him out? If I grant them military access, will they take him out for me? Go ahead. Hopefully they're going to attack them. The queen of our illustrious Apu Huipa recently brought us a request from her family, House Huila of Huila. Apparently King Hastu's administration is in great disarray, and he has asked us, his most trusted friends, if we can help in any way. His letter is filled with compliments on our talented bookkeepers and bureaucrats. A helping hand. I think I will keep the admin power. I'm sure they'll still join my wars. Yeah, they'll still join, so it's whatever. They're going to attack? They're not going to attack. Yeah. So we get a bit of separatism. Fine. It's whatever. Make that a core now. The Queen of the People. It has become clear to us that Queen Huipa is a woman with a heart of gold. She always does her best to please her husband, Apa Pachacuti, and treats her friends with unparalleled kindness. During a recent trip to the Chukaibo province, Queen Huipa saw the suffering of its poorest peasants with her own eyes. Ever since, she has been drafting a plan to help her most destitute subjects. In order to make these ideas into reality, however, Huipa needs some funds from the nation's treasury. I don't really need the unrest reduction, do I? It's such low unrest. No, we've got more important matters to deal with, I think. I'd rather have the money. Alright, let's go ahead, come on. Finish these guys off, siege this back, get back up here, because I've got some Huanca that need a spanking. And you know what, let's grab some more troops. Just grab another 3,000. And yeah, we'll siege that back. What's our war exhaustion at now? Oh, it's very low. Very low. Okay. Take you off. Get you back up there. And we can probably speed that up a bit. Sickness of Apu. Oh dear. He better not die. Pachacuti has fallen ill and cannot handle all aspects of ruling Cuzco for the time being. How shall we handle this? So we can give decentralized ruling for 10 years, reducing our autonomy, giving the merchants loyalty, or we can reduce our tax income modifier. I think we'll do that. Keep the nobles loyal. Times of need. Let's send... Our coffers are getting worryingly light. Let's try and get some admin points. We need some help with administration. Hopefully the Charca will help us out. See what they do. And they did. They gave us some admin power. That's good. The Huanca are no longer a valid rival, but that's okay. I don't need them to be a rival. We can choose the Calchaquí instead. And ultimately, we can probably make the Charcas our rival, but let's deal with the Huanca first. Okay. Now, our army's actually a little too big. 22k. We'll make Huancavelica the war goal. And we're fighting the Chimu and also the Chachapoya, which are these guys. So, you know, it could be interesting. See how we go. If I can nuke the Huanca quickly, and actually even better if I can fight them like that. I mean, that's not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and... I don't want you to... actually, do I want you to siege? I did select everything as... Yeah, okay. That's fine, actually. I'm okay with the Huila sieging that. So what I'll do is... Don't need a state statutory rights. We've got our cause. Let's slow it down a little bit. Yeah, we'll siege this. And then let's go... I guess we will go with Pachacuti. We'll go over here and start sieging down the Chimu. And that's the war goal, so I think the Huila will have to give it to me. You go there. How many troops do I need for that? I will need... what does it say? It's fort level 3. So I think I still only need 4,000 men to siege it. But you know what? I'm probably better off just keeping all my troops together. I need to try and attack some of these armies. Yeah, if I can attack them on the fort, that's even better. So they're going to escape. Oh, no, they're not going to escape. We're going to catch them. And they will get a river crossing penalty. We might even stack wipe them. Yes, we did. So that's huge. And we can probably take out the Chimu army as well. Is there a way I can get at them without crossing a river? Oh, I can if I attack from here. That's perfect. Yeah, stop asking me about the estate statutory rights. I am not interested. So yeah, I'm not crossing a river here. The month will tick, so we'll get our morale back. Do I want to hire an advisor? I don't think it really makes too much of a difference. And as soon as I can upgrade my military tech, I'm going to do that as well. Because that'll just be another huge advantage. Oh, we rolled great on fire, but terribly on shock. Oh, we actually stack wiped them as well. That's huge. Absolutely huge. So, let's go ahead and consolidate. Now, was that all their armies? No, they've still got... the Huanca still have 3,000 troops somewhere. So, let's not spread out too much. But what we'll do, we'll leave 4,000... Oh, we need a bit more. We'll leave 5,000. Do we need more than that? Do we need 7,000? Oh shit, we need 10,000. Alright. That's a big fort. We actually need 11,000, don't we? Or is it actually, no, it is 10. Sorry, it is 10,000. Accidentally added one twice. Alright. So we'll move our troops off there. And once they siege down, I'll actually try and get them to attach to my army, so that I can use up the Huila's manpower instead of my own. Great, so we've caught all of that. Let's go ahead and make that into a state. And we'll full core it. We're almost done with that. We can summon another Diet. I think we'll do that. The Panakas want us to increase the tax base. The nobles want us to change the culture in some province or settle something. Yeah, they want us to... Okay, yeah, well, I don't think that's a good one. And the merchants want us to increase the base production in Makaya to 4. Now, what is in Makaya? What are they producing? Grain. Yeah. What about Chukwaibo? It's mountains. They're both mountains. Probably would rather increase the tax base in Chukwaibo, so we'll do that. We don't have to do that right away. But okay, cool. Let's just wait for time to tick. Oh, and we can send our merchant here. Let's go ahead and get him to transfer trade power towards Lima. And there you go, that's that done. So can I get them to now attach? Hopefully they come and do that, because then I can pull some of my troops off. They might not. They might go and siege. Which I'm okay with. I'm actually okay with them sieging that down. I'm not going to give them any of the land, but I'm okay with them. If they want to go and sit there, that's fine. I'd rather they come here though, but anyway. So we're going to have to wait a little bit for this siege to be done, unfortunately. But at least these guys will keep everyone off my back. And then we can, before we end this war, we'll have to declare war on Lima. So once I've sieged everything down, we'll declare war on Lima, because I want to conquer that at the same time as I conquer this whole strip along here. Which will open us, pretty much open everyone up. We can probably go after Cajamarca next, allied with the Quito and the Chachapoya. And yeah, then we'll need to go after the Calchacui. But things are going well. Pretty happy with how things are progressing. I would like some better siege ticks though. And the Calchacui like us a little bit more. That's good. They're going to be forced to like us a lot more. We have run out of manpower though. Probably because of the attrition. Anti-clericalism. The merchant guilds of several prominent cities are accusing the Panakas of being greedy and indolent. The pious commoners are now withholding the tithe in a protest against a particularly bad example of misuse of the authority of the Panakas. Pious merchant guilds are now objecting to paying tithes to the Panakas as they consider the Panakas unfit to receive them. So, force them to pay, we get some money. The merchants won't like us. I'd rather the Panakas like us though, because we can get some good bonuses from them. So, I think I'll side with the Panakas to get the stab cost reduction and the tax modifier and all that. Because we're not making a whole lot of money off trade, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, we can get our military tech. I'll do that maybe before we fight a battle. I don't think we need to do that right now, because it increases combat width and shock values, so it's not essential. And yeah, the Chimu of fighting their peasants, fine by me. Supply shortage. Getting there. Let's just speed this up a bit, otherwise we'll be here all day. Disease outbreak, that's unfortunate. Getting there. Food shortage. Oh, what's our war exhaustion at? 1. Okay. Water shortage, come on. Defender's desert, why is it not going up? We're gonna have to wait for a 28% roll? Come on. Oh god. Oh, that's the achievements thing. This is the longest siege ever. There's nothing I can do to make it go any faster. I don't have any artillery, I've got no boats. Nobles demand old rights. Well, I mean, that's just free loyalty, because we can't do government reforms. I mean, I guess we're probably stacking it up in the background, but let's go ahead and take the loyalty. That'll get us some more manpower recovery speed, make our army a little cheaper. Oh, come on. Give me a breach. It's really slowing me down. How long has this siege been going on? Chacapoya want peace. I mean, I could peace them out. Take war reps and gold or something. Alright, there we go. Bloody hell, 1400 days. My god. Alright, let's go and finish off these guys. I don't need you to attach anymore. That job is done. And yeah, let's finish them off. I mean, it's a river crossing, but we should annihilate them. Let's get our military tech. And I think they're probably still on Tech 1, right? Yeah, they're all still on Tech 1. So we should just destroy them in the shock phase. Yeah, stack wiped. Nice. Let's get you back down here. Consolidate, I'll leave 2 behind, the rest can go down. Because I need to take out the Ichma. And where are the river crossings? Okay, only on the eastern border, so I can attack from Chimbote. Okay. And again, we'll just pull all our troops down here. Perfect. Alright, let's declare war. Take Lima. Again, we should annihilate them. Yeah, they're not even at full morale, so that's an easy stack wipe. How much do we need? Only 4,000 to siege them. Good. So let's move everyone else off. And can I can't take that. I'll have to do it all in one. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Who are they allied with, these guys? Oh, they're allied with the Ichma. Well, they might make another alliance. I don't think I can get to them, though. So if I peace out with the Huanca, I'll peace out everyone. I can't take their land without taking something that borders it. I don't think I can take the Ichma without taking the Huanca. I'm in a little bit of a catch-22 here, unfortunately. But anyway, let's just siege this down. I could just separate piece them. I could make them cancel their alliances. They'll probably form some new ones. Could make them a vassal, but then I got to integrate them. Is that worth it? I'd have to wait 10 years before I could annex them. Yeah, it might be worth it. Save me on admin points. Yeah, maybe I should make them a vassal. That's probably okay. I'll have to improve relations with them, but that's fine. Don't have my diplomats doing anything else. So yeah, we'll make them a vassal. That sorts that problem out. And yeah, I think that's okay. So now we just need to finish this siege. And I'll have to send these guys. So I'll have to wait until 1464, and I need more opinion with them. So let's make a start on that now. We'll get a royal marriage with them. And we'll start improving relations as soon as we can. Can probably stop currying favors. Gain some manpower, nice. Alright, and now we're just waiting for the Ichma. And then I can piece out the Huanca. And then piece out the Ichma, and then I can turn my attention to everybody else. Gain 3% army professionalism. Alright, I'll take that. We could reduce our war exhaustion now to get that tax modifier in manpower for 30 years. I think we may as well do that. I can't do that until I've conquered all of this area. Let's just wait a little bit. Wait until we finish this war off. Hopefully this siege is quicker than that one was. I guess that's a good reason to vassalize them. I don't have to siege that fort down again. This is a real pain. Well, there you go. I can lose 2 war exhaustion or gain 5 prestige. I guess I'll just take the prestige. War exhaustion's not that bad, and we've got that event which can reduce it. And there you go. Siege is over. So, can't take that until I take the Huanca. That's easy enough. So, let's take... Actually, should I white peace with these guys first? They'll give us a truce for 5 years. I think let's just do that. Let's just white peace with them. And then I can properly peace out these guys. Probably should move my troops. They're taking attrition. I just realized. I wasn't paying attention. So that's the Huanca dealt with. And now the Lima can also be dealt with. So I'm sure the Huila won't come to their aid. So that's that done. Don't need to ask for a contribution from the Merchants Guild. Let's go ahead and we'll use our Rule of the Sun event to lose some war exhaustion. Pachacuti's authority as a descendant of an ancient line is unquestionable, and yet some do, and that needs to be corrected. Great. And we can also get the Defeat the Huanca mission here. Andean polities divided amongst themselves are not able to mount a defense against our powerful army. Let us go forth and begin our march north. First, let us vanquish the Huancas. So we'll gain permanent claims on Chimor, Cayamaca, Ucayali, and Quito. Pachacuti will gain 1 administrative point. And then, if we have the admin national focus, we get focus on territorial integration for 25 years, reducing our core creation costs. Or we can go Diplo for siege ability or military for discipline. I think we'll go admin, because we need the admin points, and this will help. So we've done that one now. So Pachacuti is a pretty good monarch now. He should have... He's a 5/4/5, so nothing to sneeze at there. And we can also get this oracle one. Let's go ahead and start this coring process off. So contact the oracle. I'll gain a Diplo point for Pachacuti. Lima will get their tax building upgraded, and if no building is present, we'll add a temple, and if a cathedral, we'll gain 2 base tax. And local autonomy in Lima will be set to 0%. Let's wait for that until we have integrated it properly, and then we'll do that. And then we need to pick a rival. So now it's really only the Quito and the Charca that we can rival. And I guess we should go down and finish off these guys. So let's go ahead and we want all of that territory. And yeah, I want all of this and all of this. And really, I do want all of the Huila territory as well. So I wouldn't be totally opposed if they broke the alliance with me. But what should our next target be? The thing is, I'd have to vassalize these guys until I integrate the Chimu. I can't really do much there. So I guess we go back down south and take out the Calchiqui, and then I can probably break my alliance with the Charca. And we can see some more land. Let's go ahead and do that. I think. Yeah, that's fine. Do I want to increase the base tax here yet? It's quite expensive. Modified by primitives. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe I don't do that right now. Alright. But otherwise, I think this is all going pretty well. No complaints. Let's just group up, maybe. And if I put Pachacuti, are they still going to take attrition? Yeah, they will. So let's split them up. We'll send you guys ahead. And then we'll send you guys afterwards. Making a good amount of gold per turn. Well, per turn. Per month. Per tick. So anything else we can do to make these guys like us more? I don't think that's worth it. Curry favors. What can I do with favors? Trade favors for soldiers. That's not bad. Maybe do that with the Charca. 10 favors. Yeah. Give me some soldiers. Gave me some manpower. I guess I can do that with the Huila as well, can I? Oh, I can only do that every 5 years. Eh. That's lame. I can trade for ducats. Don't really need the favors anymore, so I may as well use them, I guess. And I can't do that here. Okay. That's all fine. As for my subjects, anything I can do here? Grant province, pay off debt, seize land. I could seize all their land. Increase their liberty desire. Oh, I could do it once. Liberty desire is low, and if I do it once, like if I seize, I don't know, Tukume or something, or Tumbe, I can use that as a launching point, maybe? Probably want to test that, to be honest. Because I don't really want to wait 10 years before I can conquer up the top there. Triumph of the Panakas. So I can reject their authority, or I can let them have clerical dominance. I don't want to lose stability and influence and loyalty, so let's just let them be a bit dominant for a while. Which will increase our stamp cost modifier, unfortunately. I don't think there's too much we can do about that. So we'll just let them have that one. And let's go ahead now and take our next war. And we'll go for Santa Catalina. And we're going to have to fight the rebels first, and then fight these guys. But they left. Oh, they ran into the mountains. Okay. In that case, I will take... 12,000 that way. I should win that one pretty easily. Don't need to call in allies. So I think this is all fine. Let's group them up just so that we're not exposed. And I mean, what are they going to do? Siege down my capital or something? They're welcome to. Welcome to try. We're going to siege down Juju before they even get close. Okay, gained core provinces there. Let's go ahead and make all of that into a state. And we will full core it. And then I can do that mission when we're not at war, presumably. Oh, we need the Panaka loyalty to be higher. Okay, that's alright. It's not essential. That was a quick siege, which I'm grateful for. So let's go ahead and fully annex them. Perfect. Take you off. Now. Oh, am I no longer allied with them? Why is it saying only one stab cost? Okay, I need to break the alliance. They're not going to accept an offer to vassalize them, are they? No. Okay. Alright, let's go back up north then. And we'll core everything there. And then, yeah. Oh, they broke it. Oh, they announced us as a rival. Ah, okay, I still have a truce with them, though. That's a shame. But I can rival them, so that's fine. And I still do have a royal marriage too, so I'll need to break the royal marriage. Costs us some prestige, but... Oh, and it will slightly destabilize our country. Really? It's going to cost us stability? Royal marriage, breaking truce. I mean, I've got to wait for the truce. I don't want to lose that much stability. I really would have thought that this will only cost stability, surely. Only cost prestige, right? Let's give it a try. If not, I'll just end the episode here. Okay, it only costs prestige. That's good. So I can then go to war with them without losing an extra stability there. Oh, we do need to take out these guys. I can catch them. Where are they going? Into a bunker. Not Machu Picchu. Now they're coming back. Okay, they should die. Yep, they'll die to my infantry over here in Elwiri. Very good. Can stop leading. And let's go up. Yeah, we'll go up to there. Now, improve the capital. The glory of our capital has long been neglected. We now have an opportunity to improve the city and make it a beacon of cultural pride. This may prove costly, but there is an alternative solution. So we can lose some manpower to gain base tax, or we can just spend money. Well, we need the manpower. Can it go negative? I don't think it can go negative. Oh, maybe it can. Let's just use the manpower. Yeah, it can't go negative. So, there we go. We still got the extra base tax there. How much gold do we have? Tons of gold now. Jeez. There's even more gold down in the charkers, so we'll have to take them out. That's very good. Okay, so a suitable wife for Tupac Yupanqui. The priests of Inti have made it clear that Tupac Yupanqui must take his sister as his primary wife to please the gods. Many of his ancestors and even the god of the sun himself have married this way within the family and kept the bloodline pure. The boy's mother, however, refuses to hear of this and will not give her consent. The proper way to solve this schism would be to ask our ancestor, the mummy that is the head of our Panaka lineage, for guidance. Disregard the mother outright. We'll lose stability, we'll gain authority, or we'll consult our ancestor. One of two options will happen. Malqui approval or Malqui disapproval. Let's go with the dice roll here, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we don't lose authority. Okay, we didn't. Malqui approval. Through the priests of the Panaka, the mummy at the head of our lineage has made it known that he approves of the proposed marriage. As his authority is supreme, there is really no way now for anyone to object to the proposed marriage of Tupac Yupanqui to his sister. Then married they shall be. On second thought, perhaps holding off is for the best. No, we'll take the authority. So we are getting close to one of these reforms. Although we've done most of our conquest now already. Those Quitos are building an agent here. Alright, let the month tick. What I really want to know, though, is if I seize land from my allies here, if I take Tumbes, for example, I believe, yes, I can core it. Excellent. And I can use that as a launching off point to engage in war against my enemies. My enemies. That sounded ominous. So this is great. It means I can conquer in the interior here without needing to waste time integrating the Chimu here. So, very happy about that. Let's go ahead and move all our troops up. Oh dear, attacking Cuzco, and the Huila are calling us to arms against Cajamarca, who I actually want to conquer. So I don't want to join the Huila. I'd rather end the war. We'll lose prestige, we'll lose Diplo rep, but I'm not going to help them. I in fact want to break my alliance with them more than anything. So that's what I'm going to do in a minute here. Let's decline that. And that automatically breaks the alliance. And you know what? I'm going to break your royal ties too. Oh, I'll lose stability if I do that. Okay, I won't do that then. Attacking Cuzco. During the customary serving of beverages to the commoners from around the royal litter in the squares of Cuzco today, Pachacuti was attacked by a small group of would-be assassins. The group suddenly retreated without being anywhere near achieving the goal of hurting Pachacuti, but it was worryingly clear that the royal guards never saw this coming, perhaps because they are not yet used to the bustling environment of Cuzco. I think then let's revert the decision to expand the guard. Or I can start an investigation into who planned the attack. It was probably the traditionalists. Let's take the stability. Revert the decision. I've done most of my conquest of the Andes anyway, so we probably don't need the extra stab. And these guys are... I think we'll have to go to war with Cajamarca now, and we'll want to do it pretty quickly. fact, we'll need to do it. We'll need to do it right now. I'm going to use my own war goals. Yeah, taking Cajamarca is the goal here. And hopefully I get there first. 8th of April, 4th of April, yes. Okay. So I'm the attacker. Snooze, you lose, Huila. And I'll also take them out over here, so I should get everything. Even though I'm fighting without a leader there. Yep, so that has worked out perfectly. So now I just need to wait. And then the Huila are going to be pretty much surrounded. And I can declare war on the Quido to take out the Chachapoya and the Quido. So this is all going very well. You can stop currying favors down there. I don't need any more favors from these guys. And then I just have to wait. And is there anything I can do with these guys to make them like me more? I guess I can send them gifts. No point doing that until our relations are higher. Might be something I can do here. Pretty sure most of this just reduces their liberty desire and doesn't actually make them like us more. Can pay off their debt. And none of that's really that helpful. But okay, cool. And we'll just wait. Just play the waiting game. Okay, gain some core provinces down here. Let's go ahead and state that up. And we'll state that as well. Perfect. Chaka's no longer a rival. That makes sense, I guess. We're pretty much the ruler of the Andes now at this point. Come on, finish this siege. 64, 71%. Seriously? Seriously, game? Okay. That's this dealt with. Let's go ahead and group everyone up. End this war. And yeah, we'll just take everything. And we can core all of that. And we have fulfilled the mission of conquering Cajamarca. So we'll get some army tradition. We'll gain a general with 50 tradition. Who'll have +1 shock. Cajamarca is a larger urban settlement in the north and should be our primary target in our conquest expedition to the north. I'll go ahead and grab that. And let's go and... oh yeah, we can't declare war on them. We have to do it this way. So we'll make Canary the war goal. Yeah, 18k versus 6k. That's going to be an easy war. Okay, Tumbes is a core province. Fully core that. We need 4,000 troops there. Let's go ahead and move you guys there. So we'll siege these guys down. No one wants to work. We lose 3 ducats. Disaster. Why does no one want to work? Oracles and divination. The world can sometimes be an unforgiving place, and fate may turn in surprising ways. Luckily, we have the Huaca gods of our people to help us interpret what the future holds. Should the future be too hard for the Huacas to penetrate, there are other oracles in the Andes, but they require a worthy gift before sharing their visions. Pachacuti has been beset by ample doubts recently, and it is perhaps time to consult the auguries. So we can consult the local oracle at Cuzco. High chance we'll get a conflicted answer. Or we can travel to the great oracle of Pachacamac for 16 ducats. We'll get some prestige. We have a very good chance of a favorable outcome there. Or we can go to the oracle of Apuramac. Or we can just ignore all of this. I think let's go to the great oracle of Pachacamac. Favorable answer from the Huatec and Huamerpa. A great number of diviners, or diviners I should say, are attached to any given oracle shrine. The Guacamole? Guacarimachik speak to Huacas, while the Ayatapuk, Ayatapuk communicate with the dead. The Huatuk achieves a prophetic mood using a holy beverage, while the Humerpa read the entrails of sacrificed llamas or other animals. All of these great diviners have now dwelt on the questions of Pachacuti, Pachacuti has come to pose, and all agree that the time ahead will be a most fruitful and successful one. Cool, 50 admin, 5 prestige. You love to see it. And I'll leave my troops there, even though it's unnecessary. If I move 3,000 men off, I just know that the AI will disappear and stop helping me siege it, which will be bad. Improvements in trade tech. Yeah, let's spare no expense. We're getting pretty close to the max there, so let's go ahead and upgrade our Diplotech. Not that it's really going to make too much of a difference there to us. Probably could have used that to develop, actually. It's alright. I would like to get to tech level 4 in admin, at least. Can we split up so I'm not taking attrition? Let's do that. And in fact, you can... he's not a bad leader, this guy, actually. Our 50 shock general. Alright, come on, siege this down, and then I can conquer them and turn to the Quito. Okay, piece them out. Oh, they're actually not going to accept, I guess because they've still got an army somewhere. That's okay. There you go, I can upgrade to feudal monarchy. I'll hold off on that because I still need admin power to... I still need it for cause at the moment anyway. Okay, let's do that and then that. No, actually. The Chaka are fabricating claims on me, how dare they? What do I think this is? Oh, it's a bloody big fort, isn't it? Yeah, we need 10,000 men. 10,000 men. Let's allow the subjects to attach, and let's put them on supportive focus. Hopefully they just attach to my troops there. I think we've got 9,000 there, but I need one more. You guys can go there, so you don't get caught out. Let's put a leader on you. Oh, that's okay. If they want to try and siege that back, because what I'll do is, right as they're about to siege it, I'll just end that war. Could upgrade my military again to get some more land morale. Probably don't need it at this point. But I'm just thinking, you know, it's probably better doing that than developing provinces, maybe. What are these? Hulan Pretender Rebels, okay. Jeez, they're actually sieging that one down pretty quick. I'm not going to get it on 7%. They might get it on 28% though, so let's go ahead and end that war. We'll take all that land. I'm taking it, right? Yeah. So if they siege it down now, I don't care. It's no fort on it that I would have to siege back. Let's maintain the diplomat there. We're pretty close to 190. It's really just the time that we will have to wait. So yeah, let them occupy that. They can occupy all of that if they want. Do not mind. Yeah, go siege Cuzco, see how that works out for you. Cool, alright, you can stop attaching to me now. In fact, I can put you on siege focus or something. And these guys should capitulate. Oh, they won't. Okay, so I need to go take out their army. Actually, I might just be able to... Let's put them on no focus. Just thinking, trying to avoid combat. If I can get these guys to surrender. Yeah, okay, they've unconditionally surrendered now. Perfect. So let's take all of this. Take the gold. And that's done. And I'll have to go deal with this army, but that's easy. And let's core all of this. So, take over Quito. As we head north, the extreme highlands climate begins to subside and grow weaker. The ethnic makeup changes too, with the city of Quito being the capital of the Quran. Get another admin point. Gain Quran as an accepted culture, and we can colonize the Pastos, Papayan, Naiva, and Piaus region through the Venture into Tribal Lands decision. Let's go ahead and take that. And that's all up here. So we'll want to go and do that. First, let's go deal with these guys, the separatists. And then we will go and deal with the natives up north. So who do we have left? It's just the Charca, who we have a truce with until 1461, and the Huilo, who we have a truce with until 1462. And then we're done. So let's go and wipe out those separatists. And we don't need to take so many men. We can leave 8,000 behind. Pachacuti, you can come off. We'll put Tarake on. We'll send him back up north. Go and start dealing with the natives. We can seize some land, but I want to get the Panaka's loyalty up, so I'm not going to do that just now. Oh, in fact, I can just increase the tax base in Chukayubo, which is going to cost a bomb, fortunately. Yeah, let's just do it. Get that mission done. So that fulfills this mission. We can contact the Oracle. The Ichma consider Pachacamac their creator, who is living and helping the humans in his idol form, serving as an oracle. Perhaps we should contact him. So Lima will get a tax building, and autonomy will be set to 0. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and do that. What else do we have? We can do this one if we get the manpower in a bunke up to 4, so let's go and do that. And yep, our recent victory over the Chunka has left them as powerless subjects of Apu. As our servants, they need to start paying the labor tax, including military servitude. So this will allow us to colonize the Peruvian coast through the Venture into Tribal Lands decision, and it'll unlock the Chunka Auxiliary Mercenary Company, which has no, or costs no force limit to maintain. Let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, let's start doing our colonization by venturing into tribal land. So what we have to do is defeat all the natives in the province. Oh, that's easy enough. Let's go ahead and start making some headway into that. We'll summon the Diet. The Panakas want us to increase Lima's tax base to 7. Nobles want us to build a manpower reserve. And the merchant guilds want us to increase the production in Cuero, which is a wool province. We'll get a bunch of money for that. I think I'll take that one. We can do that, even though it costs a stupid amount of Diplo power. But we'll need the money to venture into the tribal lands. Growth of the economy, trade power in Lima, yep, that's good. Okay, let's put Pachacuti back on board now. And let's, take the gold from that. And what we want to do is we want to attack the natives, because we can venture into tribal lands down here in these 3 provinces. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we'll start colonizing it. And it'll slowly colonize fully, and we don't have to pay any colonial maintenance for that, which is cool. Beyond the frontiers of our nation lie many sparsely populated lands inhabited by disorganized societies. To subdue those would be an easy and profitable affair. So we're just gonna go clean up the coast here. Again, attacking natives. And starting to settle these tribal lands. Let's reclaim some crown land as well. Got enough loyalty with everyone, so I think that's fine. And the last one, at least down here. So that's everything we can do down there, but we can colonize some lands up here. So Pastos, let's take Pachacuti off there. And let's colonize that. Next one is Popayan. And then Naiva is next. And we can actually then attack the Muisca up here. I'll even get some help against the natives with Muisca's troops. Thanks for the help. I would need to fabricate a CB against them, so let's go ahead and start building a spy network there. Alright, well I think we're in a pretty good spot. I don't think there's much else I can do to improve relations here. Aggressive expansion, that'll tick down. Forced vassalization will tick down. So I just need to keep them happy. And then eventually I can send them a nice big gift to get 25 opinion. That might tip me over the 190 threshold needed to annex them. But I've got a few years before that anyway. So it should be fine. Let's go ahead and move these guys back down, because my next war is against the Charkas, right? Yes. So you guys can go there. Prospering times. Pachacuti has become renowned for our country's artistic achievements and blossoming economy. Artists, philosophers, and poets are flocking to Cuzco, and the thriving economy has allowed extensive artistic funding. Several fine architectural buildings are being erected, and beautiful gardens are built to demonstrate our country's wealth, and many members of our new intellectual elite have ideas on how to improve various parts of our country. So I can invest in better urban infrastructure to gain 5 base tax in Moyobamba. So I'm basically founding a new city. Where is Moyobamba? over here in the jungle, they produce tropical wood. So, what do I want? Military power, Diplo, or admin? Local development cost, what is it? Jungle, isn't it? What's the dev cost here? It's not a core yet. Oh, that'll also give local dev cost. I guess we'll go with better urban infrastructure. But that's cool. Alright, I would have preferred that in a highland or mountains area, but I'll take it. No complaints from me. But okay. I think we're otherwise sitting pretty here. We're actually almost 1 month off our war with the Charkats. So maybe we can do that as well. There you go. Truce with the Charkats has ended. Let's just move our troops into position. The Great Temple of Arequipa. Word has reached us that a local chief in Arequipa has begun to construct an ambitious new temple for the main Huaca god of his tribe. As is often the case, this Huaca also happens to be a mummified ancestor of his own lineage. While the chief seems content to acknowledge our authority, it is hard to shake the notion that he is attempting to build a bigger power base for himself in Arequipa. The priests of Inti and Arequipa strongly advocate that we remove the Huaca to put this chief in his place. Where is Arequipa? That's over here. Okay. I think let's go and put him in his place. We could allow it to be built, which gives 5 years of extra tax, but also monthly. No, I think we put him in his place. So let's go and crush those separatists. They're on the 26th. Yep, let's crush that. Okay, that's done. And the Charkas have lost against the peasant rebellion they've got going on, so now's probably a good time to invade them. You can probably be led by Pachacuti, and I'll get you to be led by the other guy. And let's go ahead and declare war on them. Yep, we'll take Charcas. Oh, they've got a... Of course they've got a castle. But okay, that's fine. Truce with the Huila has ended as well. With the military tech, do we need it? They're on level 2. I don't think we really need it, to be honest. How many troops do they have? 4,000. Yeah, I'm not so worried about that. We do have enough actually to siege this one down, thankfully. We don't need 10,000 men. 8,000 will do the trick. Alright. I was planning to end this video a few wars ago, but I'm just really enjoying it, so I'll make this a bit of a longer video. Okay, the siege of the Charcas is over. The war with the Charcas has just begun. Split that up. We'll split into 2 groups there. Okay, we got cores now, so we can core those last 2, which were cut off, unfortunately, but now we can finally core them. And let's send Pachacuti here. Fierce negotiator, mercenary maintenance, cost reduction. It's not really that beneficial. And there you go, the Charcas are dealt with. Oh, come on, why wouldn't they accept? Seriously? Seriously? I'm gonna have to go and conquer your army as well? They might unconditionally surrender. Maybe, if they're smart. Oh, it's because they've sieged down that province. That's why. Oh, they lost to my vassal. Alright. There you go, now they'll accept. So we take everything and all the gold. And let's go ahead and core all of that. And seize the southern fringes. The Altiplano is a large flatland underneath the Titicaca Lake. The Lake of Inclines is perhaps this land's biggest advantage. Let us conquer it and build a power base. Cool. This allows for the colonization of Madre de Dios, Moxos, Cochabamba, and San Joaquin through venture into tribal lands decision. We'll also gain 10 authority, but we're actually about to hit 100 authority. So I'm not going to do that. What is our authority giving us, actually? Okay, stab cost and unrest reduction. So I think I'll hold off on that because we're about to enter into a little bit of a rebellion. I'll just move back down so I take out their take out the separatist remnants. Ooh, Arequipa is now producing gold. Awesome. More gold. We've got so much gold. The Incan gold. Okay, and we can pass a religious reform. We've already done most of the core creation from reform the bureaucracy. So I guess we'll actually probably go with... I guess we'll go with expanding the Mitma policy. The policy of moving entire villages from loyal areas into newly conquered land or into the frontier has helped expand the empire. This type of forced resettlement could also be used to resettle the population of newly conquered areas into the core parts of the empire. Strict laws should be put in place to forbid people from returning to their original homes. So we'll get a colonist and we'll automatically discover adjacent territory when a colony is finished. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to lose 100 authority. We're going to lose 2 stability and plunge the nation into civil war. But that's okay. We will survive once I get all my troops together, actually. And let's go ahead and... You know what? Maybe we'll bump our military up. So we have more morale than the pretender rebels. And let's pick our native policy. I think we'll go with native trading policy, increasing the assimilation chance, reducing the uprising chance. Assimilation just means more development when we ultimately do settle. And yeah, reform passed. The successful implementation of our recent reforms has resulted in some distress, both among the nobles and among the Huaca worshippers in the countryside who feel left behind. They feel we are abandoning the ancient customs of both ours and their forefathers, and fear that this development will decrease their power and influence. These dissenters have now joined forces with one of the influential Panaka lineages to put a candidate of their own on the throne. So we lose all our stability, but you know, what can you do? It is what it is. Let's go ahead and group our troops up. We'll complete this mission. We'll gain authority and some ducats, which is good, because we will need to boost our stability up again at some point, probably. But for now we don't need to, so that's fine. What else can we do? Oh, we need to annex the Chimu. We need to, yeah, venture into the tribal lands here, seize the Shunka. Okay, so this is pretty much all relying on us colonizing these tribal land areas, which we've started, so they should all be done pretty quickly. So let's go and deal with these rebels. So I want to put an advisor in now. Discipline, land maintenance modifier. I guess we'll just put the land maintenance modifier guy. That's probably fine. Let's put inflation reduction, because we have a lot of gold, so our inflation has been going up. And I think this means we can increase above, but we don't need to. We've got enough for relations now that if we send him a gift, we can start annexing him. So let's just put trade efficiency. Put some advisors in place. And I would take the advisor cost reduction, but I don't think we need to just yet. Let's go and take out grain. I don't want grain. Give me gold. I'm going to get a crossing penalty there, but I think that's okay. Let's finish them off. Perfect. So, a little bit of a civil war isn't ideal. Actually, let's see where they move to. They'll move somewhere. Yeah, okay, they're going to move to Cuzco. Let's wait for them to lock in, because that's a better fight for us. And the Muisca want an alliance. I do not think so, my friend. Oh, and we should send our... yeah, we should send our dude out. Local settler increase -10. Same there. This one doesn't, so let's send him down to Santiago del Estero. I want to try and get down to the other side of Argentina, La Plata, because if the Portuguese or Spanish colonize, I want to be adjacent to them as soon as possible before they get too big. And these colonies will cost colonial maintenance, the ones that I use with the colonists, so that's normal. Oracles and divination. Let's, again, I think we'll go to the Great Oracle of Pachacuti. And great, we got a favorable answer, stability and prestige. Happy about that. Where are you going? You're going to Ayaviri. Okay, great. So that's them stack wiped. Let's take you off as a leader. And then we can take out the Julia. And let's fabricate a claim on the Muisca. And when can we annex them? We can actually start doing it now. So let's send them... I'm going to send them an insult. Send them a gift. Do I need... I don't need to send 50. I get away with 25 ducats. And then next month we can start annexing them. So let's start doing that. It's going to cost me 152 Diplo points. It'll be done by 1467. Perfect. Great. So that's that started. And I can cancel the improved relations. Don't need that anymore. Gained a bunch of cores. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. This is all going very well. I'll lose the prestige. Pachacuti, you're back in charge. Our final war to take the Huanaca. Let's just make sure I'm not... Yep, I'm taking all that territory for myself. Thanks very much. And I think that's fine. Let's go and crush them. Perfect. And I'll just leave 4,000 troops with Pachacuti, and then the other bunch can go and siege the rest of the stuff down. And then we'll have... Did they... Oh, they had troops up here. Okay, whatever. Ah, a comet. Bear. Sacrifice a human heart to appease the comet. Well, is that an Incan thing? More of an Aztec thing, maybe. I'll just say it's an omen. Not good. Lose some stability. But easy come, easy go. We did get some free stabs, so I don't mind losing it. Alright, if they want to go and siege my colonies down, I guess that's okay. It just means they're not going to go up. You know what, I actually probably don't have to put up with that, so maybe I will go and kill them. Maybe I'll do that. Matters of state. The people of our great kingdom are well aware of our dispute with the Huila. Considering that this is also the homeland of our queen, it is no wonder that Huipa has been met with increasing animosity. For all they know, she could be harboring loyalties towards the old country, or worse, she could be a spy. And is it not a funny coincidence, the nobles argue, that the great Apu Pachacuti has become so dependent on the advice of his spouse? So I can lose yearly legitimacy, or I can lose admin points, and yeah, I mean, I'll just lose the legitimacy, whatever. We're almost done with the siege anyway. There you go. They will accept. And that is our last war. For the time being anyway. I will need to take out those separatists though. Let's core all of that. And then I think we just have to wait for some of my stuff to finish. Yep, let's make that a state. Full core it. I don't know where... Okay, they're gonna go and kill themselves on... Oh my god, are they gonna win? No! Pachacuti's died. I don't want Pachacuti to die just yet. I was hoping for him to see the formation of the Incan Empire. That would have been cool. And I wanted to finish the mission tree with him as well. Maybe we'll wrap it up there. I kind of want Pachacuti to live a bit longer. He's not that old. I'd like to see him form the Incan Empire. I mean, we already won. So maybe we'll just end the episode here, and we'll pick it up next time. Hopefully without Pachacuti being dead. And yeah, we'll just finish up from wherever we left off. So yeah, I think we'll do that. How did he die? I didn't even have him as a leader. It's just unlucky. Anyway, I would like to see him finish off the mission tree, and we're so close too. Like, we're almost done annexing the Chimu, and then it's just the colonization of these tribal lands that we need to do. So we're really getting there. Anyway, we'll pick it up next time. So I'll catch you all then. And Pachacuti will be alive. I don't want him to die so soon. I don't care if he dies after we finish the mission tree and form the Incas, but until then, I'd like to keep him alive. But anyway, we'll pick it up next time. As always, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next episode in our formation of the Incan Empire, our conquest of the Andes as Cuzco. It's gone pretty damn well so far. We've brought all of our enemies to heel. Pachacuti, unfortunately, it's just his heart gave out, man. He saw that comet coming, he took it as a bad omen, and a bad omen it was indeed. But we're going to rewind history a little bit on that, I think, because I'd like to see him alive for the finishing move when we form the Incan Empire, which we are well on track to do before 1480. So yeah, and then we will start preparing for the arrival of the Portuguese and the Spanish. Let's see if we can defend our Incan Empire from them. So as always, take care, have fun. I'll catch you all in the next episode. And yeah, see you then.